Good morning. Welcome back to another Mommy McGyver Monday.
Hello. Grab your coffee, take a 3-minute break with us. We are real moms with real tips, and today we're going to give you some great tips about starting to get your garden ready to go for this year.
So New Mexico gardening is different, to say the most. It's different than gardening anywhere else, and to be honest, gardening has never been my forte. I was not raised with a garden.
Right.
I was very uncomfortable with the idea when we started it. So this has been a whole new adventure for me.
Absolutely. And you know, when I grew up on a ranch. We had a giant garden. My mom and my grandmothers would can truckloads of produce and we'd eat it all winter long. But somehow I ended up with what my husband calls a brown thumb. So learning how to garden in a small yard has been a whole new adventure for me and my family. And I'm going to share some cute pictures of my kids and our garden so you can kind of share.
Okay, if your thumb is brown, mine is definitely black. So we are learning too that in New Mexico, we usually all have small yards and that you can garden and have great success in a small space. I mean, we just have like a 2x4 plot in the front yard, and it's enough to have tomatoes and zucchini and herbs all summer long, and I'm loving it.
Right. You just have to be a little more creative. And you know, I love driving up to Jennifer's house because along her sidewalk, she always has watermelon growing and kind of trailing along in her front yard. That's fantastic. So I found a website. It's New Mexico State University's gardening site, and we're listing that for you guys so that you can go there. They have some great tips. So we've kind of condensed those, and here's what we've learned. Number 1, know your climate. Pay attention to how much sunlight your potential garden spot is getting. I actually timed my yard, and I would pay attention to where the sun hit it and what time and when it got shady. And then I compare the plants I wanted to grow by looking at the seed packets, and it would tell how much shade or sun they prefer.
Number 2, plan before you plant. Think about what your family loves to eat and plant more of that. Read the seed packets too and just see how much room that the plants are going to need when they grow and get bigger.
Absolutely. Number 3, prepare your soil. There's lots of soil suggestions and different amendments that you can add, but I really think keep it simple. Add some compost, some gardening soil, and some manure, and kind of mix that all together, and that's a great way to start with some good soil for your plants.
Number 4, think about how you're going to water properly. It's best to water early in the morning, and I love it that my husband and my boys, they get out there with the hose every morning before work, and it's fun. And Melissa's amazing husband put in a drip system with timers. So also put some mulch around your plants too, and that will help them retain that moisture.
Absolutely. Number 5, plant your garden. I use a combination of seeds and small bedding plants, and I use a method where you plant based by the square foot. Also, I researched companion planting, which is really important because you learn which plants like to live next to each other and do the best side by side.
Number 6, control pests. In our neighborhood, we have a little bit of a bunny problem, so we have to put some mesh fencing around our garden.
And as far as bugs and insects and worms and things, there's a great organic essential oil spray that you can actually buy at the home improvement stores, and it worked really well for me, especially like on lettuces and things. And you can also plant marigolds, and they're a natural pesticide, and you just plant them kind of every few plants, and they did a great job.
Awesome. Number 7, harvest.
Yay.
And this is where it's great to get your kids involved. You know, every day during the summer we would go check the garden and see what was ready to pluck and eat. And they get so excited because it's such a really fun, rewarding way for them to eat what they grow.
Absolutely. We hope this gets you inspired. We'll do a follow-up segment on this in a few weeks showing our progress in our own garden so you can see how amazing it is.
And even if you're like me and you're just kind of scared to get started, you know, just go buy a tomato plant. Like, it's fun for the kids to help take care of it, and you just learn a whole lot with just one plant to get you started.
And it really encourages them to eat what they grow. You know, they really start to like fresh things. So for the tips we shared today, please go to casa.com.
And have a great week.